Hello everyone, my name is Elisa and this week we're going to be studying lesson 5 together. This lesson is entitled Principles Regarding Marriage. But before we get into it, I just wanted to point out that I thought it was interesting how in previous lessons we were studying about the different immoral and pagan practices that the Corinthians were doing, and also how these immoral practices entered the church. So we were just seeing how much sin was being committed and how little regard they had for the marriage relationship that God instituted and the purity of it. And so in this lesson, we're going to be studying what God's initial design for marriage is and what He created it to be and how lovely and how sweet He made it to be. So the key text is found in Hebrews 13:4. It says, "Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but warmongers and adulterers God will judge." Patriarchs and Prophets, page 46 says, "When the divine principles are recognized and obeyed in this relation, marriage is a blessing. It guards the purity and happiness of the race. It provides for man's social needs. It elevates the physical, the intellectual, and the moral nature." So on Sunday, we're talking about a man and a woman. Question A asks, when did God celebrate the first marriage? So in Genesis chapter 1:27, it says that God created male and female in His own image. And in Genesis chapter 2, verse 21 and 22, it says, "And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And He took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had made from man made He a woman, and brought her unto the man." So we see that since creation, since the beginning of time, God instituted marriage. In the quote under A, it says, "God celebrated the first marriage. Thus the institution has for its originator the creator of the universe." Marriage is honorable. It is one of the first gifts of God to man. And it is one of the two institutions that after the fall, Adam brought with him beyond the gates of paradise. But let's take this a little bit further. And I like how the lesson points out in question B that when did Jesus actually perform His first miracle? And what miracle was that? So in John chapter 2, we have a full account of what was happening. And there was a marriage feast in Cana of Galilee. And what happened was the people ran out of wine. They were nowhere near being done with the feast, but they completely ran out of wine. And Jesus did this amazing miracle where He took water, and He turned it into wine. And I love that in the note under B, it says that Jesus did not begin His ministry by some great work before the Sanhedrin at Jerusalem. At a household gathering in a little Galilean village, His power was put forth to add to the joy of a wedding feast. Thus He showed His sympathy with men and His desire to minister to their happiness. In the wilderness of temptation, He Himself had drunk the cup of woe. He came forth to give to men the cup of blessing by His benediction to hallow the relations of human life. Also, the note under that points out something interesting. It says, at the first feast He attended with His disciples, which was this marriage, Jesus gave them the cup that symbolized His work for their salvation. At the Last Supper, He gave it again in the institution of that sacred rite by which His death was to be shown forth till He come. So we're basically seeing how God created this amazing institution, which is marriage, and how He hallowed it, and He wants our happiness, and He gave this to us for our happiness to be like a little piece of heaven in our lives here on earth. And as we continue studying this lesson, we're going to see more of what God's design for marriage is. So I invite you to come back tomorrow and we will continue studying this lesson. May God bless you.